News that is just coming in, wherein the Ministry of External Affairs has confirmed that an Indian student has lost his life in the shelling in Kharkiv this morning. Nidhi Razdan joins us with the details. Nidhi.
Well, the government of India, Rishika, has just confirmed in a tweet by the Ministry of External Affairs that an Indian student lost his life in shelling in Kharkiv this morning, and that the ministry is now in touch with his family. The MEA spokesperson, Arindam Bagchi, has gone on to say that the Foreign Secretary is also calling on the ambassadors of Russia and Ukraine to reiterate their demand for urgent safe passage of Indian nationals who are still there and in other cities who are in conflict zones. He says that similar action is also being undertaken by the ambassadors of India in Russia and in Ukraine. This is a very big development. We know that thousands of Indian students in particular are still stranded in Ukraine. The government of India has stepped up efforts in recent days to try and get as many people back to India as possible. There are a number of flights, special flights that are being operated by Air India, by Indigo Airlines. 4 union ministers, in fact, are currently sort of spearheading these efforts by personally being in these neighboring countries, including Jyotiraditya Scindia, Hardeep Puri, Kiran Rijiju, and General V.K. Singh. But the fact is that despite these sort of efforts that the government is making, at the same time, a number of students that we've been speaking to, as we've seen on TV, other channels have been talking to, they've been putting out SOS messages consistently, saying that they're stuck. For instance, the Indian government had asked them to go to the railway station in Kyiv, and many of them who are there said that, they were not able to board the so-called special trains that they were told about, that they were being manhandled and they were being roughed up by Ukrainian security forces. So a lot of them have been sending very desperate messages of help. And now we are seeing that in a conflict zone, in a war zone where things are chaotic at their best, an Indian student has now lost his life. We're not revealing the name at the moment. The ministry says they are in touch with his family, but once we do have an absolute confirmation that in fact the student's family has been informed of his death, only then I think we'll go ahead with revealing his name. But extremely disturbing news coming out of there, and certainly this would worry parents of other students right now and families who are anxiously trying to find out how they can get their loved ones back home. In fact, the Indian embassy this morning in Ukraine had also put out an advisory asking Indian students who are, or all Indian nationals, actually to leave Kyiv urgently today, preferably by trains or any other means available. The problem is, how exactly are they going to do that? That's really been the biggest problem. These Indian nationals really don't know how to get to places that will get them to cross borders safely. So many thousands are still stuck in various cities, at border crossings, at railway stations, metro stations. So it's a really sort of worrying situation at the moment. But the breaking news at this hour, the death of one Indian student in the city of Kharkiv.